Hi, Cancer. Welcome back to Leigh's Intuitive Tarot. My name is Leigh, and today we're going to take a look at your love life between you and your new love, your new soulmate, okay? Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. If you'd like to book a personal reading, there is a link in the description box below. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. All right. Okay. I don't know what it's been about me in Vegas, but the reads have been running a little long, so we gonna see but we got to talk about what spirit wants to talk about. So it is what it is. Okay, here we go. So give me 1 second. Okay, overall energy for this week's reading, Cancer, is the Parish card. I cannot say this word for some reason with YouTube and the algorithm. I don't know. Okay, so this is talking about Parish rebirth, transformation. Okay, you changing. I feel like preparing to become, who you need to be in order to be in this connection. Okay, this is about you going through a transformation, because in order for your love life to transform, you have to transform, is what Spirit is saying. Okay, underneath this is the Ace of Swords. This is about communication. It's also about, you know, you seeking and finding the truth. You want someone who's going to come into your life and be truthful with you about, how they, I think in all of the ways they move, not just what they say, but the things that they do. You want everything to align. The way this person moves, the way they speak, do they walk their talk, so on and so forth. Okay. Underneath this is the Four of Pentacles. I feel like you are holding yourself back. Look at this woman. Look at how she's holding on to this coin purse. Like she's gripping onto it like, if you touch this shit, you're going to get fucked up. So I feel like with this Four of Pentacles, this is talking about you holding yourself back emotionally, because we talk about this all the time as water signs, because I'm a Scorpio. Y'all are Cancers. And the first thing we want to do when somebody hurts our feelings is to shut down. But Spirit is telling you, you're going to have to remove that purse if you're wanting to let this new soulmate come in, because this person's going to be open and you need to be open as well. All right. To the next card we see is the World. This is talking about you closing out old cycles. This is me. This to me is you putting to bed who you used to be. Okay. This is about the Cancer that used to be afraid, that's holding themselves back emotionally, not wanting to open up to anyone because you've had your heart stomped on over and over again. Okay. All right. But Spirit is telling you, hold on, give me 1 second. Spirit is telling you with the Star, Aquarius energy, that you are about to get your wish. But I'm telling you, you have to become the person who is worthy, is the word they're telling me. And I don't think, for me, it's not worthy. It's you being what you want. Okay. Because, they tell you in manifestation, you don't manifest what it is you want. You manifest who you become. So if you're wanting a love, unlike any other, you're going to have to become a lover unlike any other. And that's what a lot of people don't understand. And in order to get there, it is going to require you to, go through healing. Sometimes extensive is what I'm hearing in my head for some of you. Okay. But it's how bad do you want it, is what Spirit is saying. Okay. Okay. So we're going to start by clarifying this Parish card, because remember I told you I can't say that word for some reason. Okay. Yeah. Okay. The card is another deck. There it is. Okay, here we go. So let's go down the rabbit hole. Okay, so we have 4 cards here. On your side, I see the toxic addiction card coming up. Okay, this doesn't have to be alcohol, but I'm going to show you this other card that fell as well, and it says substances. Hold on. It says substances affecting your life. So take it as it resonates. If this is you, you know, whatever this substance is, you know, this is something you got to deal with, because you can't come, look, just like you don't want, how y'all get upset in the comments about, I don't want nobody that got this issue and got that issue. Everybody got fucking issues. Okay. We've talked about this before. Everybody got issues. Okay. It may not be on this level, but sometimes it's shit you can't fucking fix. So with this person, what I'm saying all this to say that this person, spirit is putting this person in your life. You know, they're going to have certain battles. They're going to have certain things that they have to deal with, but you have them as well. And so it comes back to all the other stuff we talk about. You know, you want this, you want this, you want that. And I'm right there with you. I'm like that too. But I also know that I have to become what it is I want. See, we want these things and we're thinking, okay, think about it. So say this is you, right? And you got this going on, whatever this is, because it don't have to be alcohol. It can be, it says drugs, sex, thoughts. Okay, it can be anything. So say you got this going on and you trying to attract a person. All right. What if the person turned around and said the same stuff you saying? Well, I don't want, you know, I don't want Cancer if Cancer got this going on. So you got to think about this. You know, when you have that type of answer, it's about you partially not living in reality, because if you living in reality, you realize in this world, you're not unscathed. You're not going to go through things and be unscathed. You're going to have times in your life where you're going to have those valleys where things are going to happen. You know, everybody has their stuff. Like I said, some people like to gamble. Some people like to, you know, some people like to drink. Some people like to eat, you know, eat their feelings. It's like, it's different things for different people. But, you know, at the end of the day, an addiction or whatever this is an addiction. And so it is still something that has to be healed and has to be dealt with. Like I said, take it as it resonates. It is yours. It may be yours. It could be your person's, or it could be both of you. You both may have stuff on either side. But you got to realize that getting into a real relationship, it's not like that shit you see on fucking TV where the person may have an issue and in 45 minutes or an hour and 45 minutes they able to button it up and it comes together. That's not realistic. That's why I'm telling you, these things that they be showing you on TV and the books you be reading and all this kind of stuff, it's a lot of it is fairy tales. It's not real life. And so in a real relationship, it's just like life. It's messy. Okay. Just like life is not cut and dried. You're going to have times where you're going to fall apart. You're going to have times where you're not going to be your optimal self. And this is about the two of you coming together and becoming a team. But if this is your shit, Cancer, or if it's your person's shit, I don't care who I'm talking to. If I'm talking to you or I'm talking to the cross watcher, this got to be fixed. Okay. You got to get it to a point to where it's manageable enough to where you don't tank your relationship because of it. Okay. All right. So when it comes to your person, this is talking about them being at a crossroads, needing to make a decision. All right. About things. So like I said, for some of you, is the way this is coming out, it could be, you know, reversed. You may be on this side. So like I said, take it as it resonates. But this is about making a decision. It could be whether you want to be in a relationship or you want to be by yourself, or which person you want to choose, so on and so forth. But like I said, with your person, you know, they may have had to choose between being in a relationship with someone who was mistreating them and then coming together in a relationship with you. Okay. But it's going to require forgiveness is what Spirit is saying. You're going to have to forgive yourself, Cancer, for the things that you've gone through. And just like your person's going to have to do that too. And you're, as well as forgiving the other person for the things that they, you know, they brought upon you in your life, because all of this is playing out exactly the way it's supposed to play out. A lot of you may feel like, you know, hard done by, or why is this happening to me? Why is my life coming out like this? It's you're exactly where you're supposed to be when you're supposed to be there. There is no, you know, well, what if this and what if this and what if that? Okay. Because you signed up for this on the other side. It's playing out the way it's supposed to play out. Okay. All right. So when we have the card that shows up for you, you are showing up as the 9 of Cups. So, you know, wish fulfillment. You're ready to take a leap. Okay. Because this usually shows in other decks as the Fool, somebody jumping off the cliff or about to walk off the cliff with the Fool card. But for you, you willing to jump for your wish is what I feel like Spirit is saying with this. Okay. All right. Let's clarify. 9 of Cups. Yeah. Hold on. Okay, so you and this new person, the two of you are mirroring each other, okay? You're coming up detached. And if this is you, okay, like I said, take it as it resonates, because for some reason it seems like to me like for some of you it's coming up as if it's reversed, okay? As if I'm reading what's going on with your person and it's showing up as you. So with this detached card, it's talking about, not needing things to work out a certain way, stopping to smell the roses, going with the flow. Or it could be you may have, more morphed to this point or changed until you got to this point, because I feel like a lot of you are starting to realize you can't rush or push this timeline. You may have an agenda or an idea of the way you want things to work out, and how you want it to line up, but spirit is like, this is our show, so you need to just take your hands off the wheel and just ride, just ride on through this, and we'll get you where you're supposed to be when you're supposed to be there. Okay. All right, so we got the cowardice card showing up. Okay, hold on. Let me clarify this card. Because I'm telling you, a lot of these cards may seem similar to the twin, but we are not talking about the twin. Okay? Okay, so we've got to clarify reminiscing on past precious moments. Okay? So this is saying cowardice, courage, no courage, afraid to tell the truth, afraid to do the right thing. I feel like this is the twin, okay? Because look at the card that's coming up. Look at the picture. It's saying reminiscing on past precious moments. Yeah. So this person, this twin, if it comes up, got to read it, because this is it's coming up for a reason. So I feel like your twin is reminiscing about the two of you being together, and the sex and whatever. Because like I say, from what I hear, the sex with a twin is like it's good. I don't know, because thank God I didn't do that with mine, and I'm glad that I didn't, because I'm glad I didn't want to get myself pulled any deeper into the crazy. Okay, so I feel like with these two cards, it's just they're just showing up. They're showing up because they don't want you to get away. Okay, let me pull another card. Nine of Cups. Okay, there's the karmic family card coming up. I feel like this is talking about your person, or it could be you. Like I said, because you and this person mirror each other. We just talked about that, right? So whatever you're going through, this person is more than likely going through as well. So we got this person in your life. There's someone in your life, in your family, because they say we don't choose our family, but we do. Just like we choose this path, this journey that we're on with this twin flame situation. We chose this. It's the same thing with this. Okay, so there is somebody in your life with whom you have a hard time getting along with in your family. Okay, and like I always tell you, just because you share the same DNA with someone, it does not mean you have to allow that person to be in your life and fucking torture you for the rest of your life. If you cannot get along with this person, I'm not gonna sit here and tell you, oh, it's your family. To me, that's bullshit, because I look at it like this: if this is your family and if they love you, they need to be trying to make a fucking effort. It doesn't matter if you share the same DNA. Just because you share the same DNA with somebody, it does not give anybody the right to mistreat you, and vice versa. Okay? So if you got somebody like this in your family, and you're doing everything you feel like you could possibly do to try to fix the situation, and it's not fixing it, then if you need permission to walk away, I'm fucking giving it to you today. Walk away if that's what you need to do, Cancer. Don't let nobody make you fucking feel bad about it or whatever, because I'm here to tell you, in this journey, the number one thing we are learning is that your peace of mind is motherfucking priceless. Okay? And that you can't allow anybody to destroy it, even the fucking soulmate. Okay? Because if you need to walk away from the soulmate in order for you to continue to keep your peace of mind, you got to do what's best for you. Because I'm telling you, once you get to this point, if you're not already there where you have found your peace of mind, you're gonna be 7 of Wands about it. Okay, you're gonna fight like fucking tooth and nail to protect it, because all of these things are lessons. All of these things are tests. And so if you're going around and around with this family member, whoever the hell it is, at some point you just gonna have to cut it. Okay, I'm gonna tell you a story. Spirit is giving me the story. It's coming to mind. I have to tell you. Okay, I'm gonna give you an example. Me and my dad, we're good now, but about 4 or 5 years ago, okay, he and I, like all my life, I don't know why Spirit is telling me to tell this, so somebody must need to hear this, okay? I've always loved my dad. I've always loved him to death, okay? He was the parent. I was like a daddy's girl. He was the parent that I loved above, when it comes to my mother and my dad. My karmic family member is my mother, okay? And sometimes it would be my dad. But like I said, my dad has, I always felt like he and I had a special relationship. But as I got older, it just seemed like to me, from my experience, that, let me say this. Sometimes in certain circumstances, when people realize how much you love them, sometimes they take advantage of it. And I'm a type of person, or I used to be. Now I don't think I'm like this anymore. I used to be the type of person where when I loved you, I loved the fuck out of you, and there's not anything, that I would ever not do for you. And I feel like it got to the point between me and my dad that he started to take advantage of that. That was my experience of him. I'm not trying to villainize anybody or whatever. I love my dad. I think he's an amazing person. But during this period, that's what was going on. And I remember trying to talk to him about it over and over and over again. And it just got to the point where I felt like he wasn't hearing me. Like he would take other people's side over me. And, people that he wasn't, genetically related to, that he wasn't genetically related to. If they told him a story and I told him a story, he was listening to the other person. And I, for the life of me, couldn't understand how things got out of whack like that. So I said, okay. It got to the point to where it just kept going. And then I was like, okay, it's time for drastic measures. Because I'm the type of person where like I said, they talk about Scorpios and say stuff about us, but let me tell you the way I do things as a Scorpio. I will take your shit a few times, and then when I reach my limit, that's when I put the screws to your ass. It won't be, most times it will not be the first time. I'll let you slide because I like to give people the benefit of the doubt, because I try to do that with the twin. Even after Spirit told me that the twin wasn't gonna act right, I said, okay. I said, I'm I heard what y'all had to say, and I'm taking it into consideration, but I just want this to give this person a chance to show me who they are, right? So anyway, I'm saying all this to say, it got to the point to where I felt like he just really wasn't hearing me, and I felt like I had no fucking choice. So I just fucking stepped away. One day we had a disagreement, and I said, I'm not putting up with this no more. I said, because it doesn't matter if we share the same DNA. If you can't fucking respect me like you respecting other people, then Houston, we have a problem. So I fucking stepped away. And for 4 years, I did not talk to my dad, and he did not talk to me. And like I said, yes, that was lost time, and yes, we cannot get it back. But that was what I needed to do for me, because you have to get to a point, Cancer, where you stop letting people run all over you, because this is pretty much the problem with all of us. I'm talking to all signs, and I'm talking to myself too. Like I said, you love people, but it's like we love to a fault, and I feel like it's a beautiful thing. But on the other hand, it can be a not so beautiful thing when people realize that about you and they try to use it against you. And I'm not saying, like I said, I'm not trying to villainize my dad and say that's what he was doing, but I'm saying it was a thing of, like I always tell you, it's human nature for people to see how far they can push you, right? So this is what was going on. I recognized what was happening, and I said, okay, I have to fucking shut it down, because if I don't shut it down, I created the monster. by allowing certain things that he did to slide by. I would say something about it, but if if it wasn't corrected, I would just keep going on because I'm listening to people saying, "Oh, it's your dad, your dad, your dad." That's why I don't listen to that shit no more. Okay, so I fucking stepped away, and for 4 fucking years, we didn't talk to each other. We talked to each other the first time this year when my grandmother passed away. I told you she passed away in January. That, like I said, that was the person that raised me. That was, as far as I see it, that was my mother. That was my parent. She was my mother and my father because she was the one that raised me. Okay, so he contacted me to tell me, to give me his condolences about my grandmother, and that's when we started talking again. But from then on, when we started talking again, he's become a different person. Okay, we're talking to each other now. He realized a lot of things. I realized a lot of things. I got an apology from my dad, which I never got before. I got an apology for him. There was a lot of stuff positive, that happened positively, that came as came from what happened between the two of us. And it was hard. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and tell you that it was easy for me to walk away, but I had to do it for me. And this is about you, Cancer, putting yourself first. Okay. And like I said, don't listen to people telling you, like I said, this was my takeaway. This is what I had to do. And I'm not sitting here telling you that that's your answer, but I'm just giving you an example of how drastic I had to be in order to wake him up. Because like I said, he was thinking that he could just do whatever and it was okay. And I'm like, oh, hell, fuck no, we're not doing that. Like I said, once you start to love yourself, I told you, you get on a different level and you like, hell no. If I'm not going to let somebody out in the street do that to me, I for damn sure ain't going to let somebody who's supposed to love me do that to me. So I feel like if this is you, okay, I'm telling this story for a reason. Spirit is bringing it to mind for a reason. Because like I tell you, when I sit down and do these readings, I never know what I'm going to say. I never know what's going to come up. So that's why when, people like to say shit in the comments like, oh, you make it up. I'm like, no, I'm not making up nothing. Because I tell you, I keep it real, okay? And I let you know I go through shit just like everybody else. Just because I'm a tarot card reader, it does not mean that I don't have my ups and downs like everybody else, okay? So I'm saying all this to say that you have to pick, you got to pick your fucking poison. You have to decide how you're going to deal with this, because when your life is changing, it's morphing, it's becoming better. You're having a lot of positive things happening in your life. And so I told you, haters, whenever that happens, you got haters coming out of the woodwork. And I'm not trying to speak that on you or anything like that, but I'm telling you this is what Spirit is giving me. So you got to figure out what you got to do with this. Okay. Like I said, it could be for some of you that you may have to walk away. For others of you, like I said, you just have to forgive the person and love them from afar. And for others of you, you may decide to forgive them and to continue to try to work it out. But that's you. It's what you're able to deal with. Because like I said, it was difficult for me to do that. But I'm telling you, I had to do that with almost everybody in my life, because I had created these monsters where they felt like whatever they did, I was just gonna sit and fucking take it. And I'm like, and now they know it's not the damn truth, that it's a new motherfucking day. Because I'm like, you can go and you can keep going. Because if you're not gonna be right to me and you're not gonna treat me the way I treat you, you don't deserve to be here. Excuse me. So that's the reason why I had to do what I had to do. And like I said, I did it to a lot of people. It wasn't just my father. People, friends that I had known for long periods of time, people that were in my life that, they just totally were out of control. So you got to take a moral inventory or a relationship inventory with the people around you. Because I'm telling you, where you're going, Cancer, everybody can't come. Everybody can't come where you're going. Okay. And like I told you, the way you really gonna see who fucking ride with you and who don't, or who rock with you and who don't, is when this soulmate comes into your life. And when people see you truly happy, that's when you gonna see who really got your fucking back and who fucking don't. Okay. All right, let's move on. So the card that we have coming up for your person is the Four of Cups. So this is talking about, feeling like you had a missed opportunity. I feel like it's not that with this Four of Cups. I feel like this is Spirit saying, this is your person after they came out of this last connection that they were in. They feel like, that's why I'm telling you, for some of you, I feel like this is reversed. All right, that you're on this side. All right, so but take it as it resonates. You know where you go. Like, put yourself where you're supposed to go. But with this Four of Cups, it can also talk about like boredom, apathy, disappointment, depression, losing sight of the magic of life. Because a lot of you, especially women, because I know I read for a lot of women, we don't look at life the same way when our relationships are not working, because we've been taught by society to value, like, for our self-worth. Our self-worth depends upon the quality of our relationships. And when we don't have that, or the quality of the relationships are bad or not the way we want it to be, this is the energy that we show up in. Okay, so that's why I tell you, you have to figure out what relationships can stay and what relationships gotta go. Okay, because it's gonna be some people, and it's gonna be people that you never thought you were gonna have to cut out, that you may have to cut out or put them to the side for a little while until they can come to Jesus and realize what the hell is going on. Okay, so the card we got falling for you is the Divine Feminine card. So this is telling me that your person realizes that you are their Divine Feminine. And we have a spirituality card. So this is about your person tapping into their spirituality, because this person, like I said, is an empath like you. They're about their spirituality just like you are. And this is about, they know what they need to do in times of crisis, and when they need to heal themselves, what is necessary. Okay, and that's the type of person you want, because that was somebody that that was one quality I always put on my list when I was talking about who I wanted to be with. I want somebody that work on themselves, because I work on myself. Like I tell y'all, I don't go balls to the wall, all day every day, but it is a consistent thing in my life. Or if something is fucked up and I know I need to fix it, yeah, I'm gonna do that. So I want somebody that's willing to do that too, because what does that look like where one person is trying to be part of the solution and the other person is okay being part of the fucking problem? You working against each other. It's not going to work. Okay. All right. So hold on, because I'm supposed to pull these other cards and I ain't pull them. Hold on. Four Cups. So we've got the shock card showing up here. Sudden change, shocking news, surprise and epiphany, transformation. I feel like when this person comes in, when the two of you come together, this is like the Tower. That's what's going to happen. Okay. So when it comes to the energy between the both of you, we got the Six of Wands and the Nine of Wands. Okay. This can talk about, for me, your dream lover showing up in your life. But it can also speak of success and recognition. So if you're working on something, you're focusing on your creativity, focusing on your mission and things like that. Like I told you, it's not, by you walking away from this twin, it's not just, this new person, this soulmate coming into your life. You're also going to get, money. There could be, vehicles, new vehicles in your life. There could be a lot of other things that are coming in. Okay. But with this Nine of Wands here, you're both also showing up as the wounded warrior. Okay. Needing to heal certain things, because if you want to be, see how this woman is with her arms thrown up like that. She's open and she's ready to receive. And in order for you to be in that energy, Spirit is saying that, this wall or this fence you built around yourself with this Nine of Wands, with the wounds that you've been through, you have to tear that down, because you have to be willing to let this person in. And I know it's scary. I know it's scary when somebody stomp on your heart, or random people stomp on your heart repeatedly, especially when it comes from your family, people that you're supposed to trust doing shit to you. You still have to dig down deep and find a way to open yourself up, because it's about how bad do you want it. There's certain things that you're going to be required to do. And so we got the pictures card that's falling here. It's talking about looking at pictures, missing you, nostalgia, making new memories. Again, I feel like this is the twin looking at stuff, but this is also about you, because Spirit is telling you, in order to tear this fence down that we're talking about with this Nine of Wands, it is going to require you to go back and look at the past. Okay. Because there are things going on. Like I told you, I had all these people that were leeching off me, and in my life because I was given to them, over given to them and stuff like that. And so you have to realize, like, it's like you in a boat, right? Or yeah, a little boat. You know, those the little canoe, like the little boats that they be showing, like when people go out on the lake and they, you know, for the day, and the woman is sitting in the boat with the parasol, and the guy is rowing or whatever, like that. Them little boats like that. It's like you're in a boat and it's starting to sink, right? From the way situations you set up in your life. Okay, so you got all these little holes where water is coming in, and if you don't repair it, it's going to sink your fucking situation. And so spirit is telling you, you have to figure out where these holes are and do what you need to do to fix them. And a lot of that is going to require you to do a relationship inventory. And when I say relationship, I'm not talking just about romantic relationships. I'm talking about all of it, your familial relationships, your friendships, all of these things, because a lot of times things are going on. We're not seeing the red flags we need to see, but we don't understand why the motherfucking water is coming into the boat. But it's because you not looking at certain things. Okay. All right. So we've got the spirit animal card showing up again. This is talking about you and your person mirroring each other and the synchronicity. So you may be seeing, you know, the repeating numbers 222, 22222, 2222, 2222, or 1111, 2222, 1111, that type of thing. Okay. All right. Hold on. Let me pull a card for your person. Okay. Yeah. See, you're mirroring each other, because this came up on your side and this is coming up on your person's side. Like I said, they know who you are. They know that you are their home, and that, you know, you're someone who's coming into their life and they're going to have a meaningful relationship with you. They know that. Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah. This person admires you. They admire you greatly. They realize that you're going through something, because remember, I told you, this person already knows who you are and they're watching you and they admire you. They admire, like, the struggle you've been through, how you've gotten to where you are now, and they see you, you know, on the come up. Because like I said, with this Six of Wands, this can talk about recognition, promotion, you know, being in the spotlight, all of these things. And I feel like, you know, for those of you who are, you know, doing what spirit is asking you to do, that this is how this is how this person sees you, and this is what you want. You want somebody that admires you. You don't want somebody who's like, oh well, Cancer is just, you know, whatever, they, you know, they want a mini, I can go out there and find Cancer anyway. You don't want nobody looking at you like that. Fuck that. Okay. Because when you look at your person, this is how you look at them. So why shouldn't your person look at you like this? Right? That's the question. Okay. All right. So when it comes to the outcome, we got the Three of Pentacles. This is about you and this person coming together, collaborating, working together, doing, you know, what you need to do, doing your part in this connection to bring it to fruition, to bring it to the level that you want it to. Because I feel like y'all are like me. You don't want no ordinary love. You don't want that type of thing. So if you don't want that, you know, you want a great relationship, you have to become a great person. That is why spirit is banging that, what is it, what they say, beating that dead horse, or it's something else, banging the, you know how they people clink 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 on the glass. They take at the weddings, they take the butter knife or the spoon or whatever, the utensil, and they hit the glass. That's why spirit's trying to get your attention, because spirit is like, look, if you want this, you can have it, but it's how you show up. How you show up, because people can't come into your energy and just do anything if you locking your shit down. See, look, that spirit is telling you this is what it's going to require: healing. Okay, please be focused on your healing. Even if you think you've healed everything, we're always healing. There's always something we can go back and look at. I healed the things that spirit asked me to heal, but I still pick out things that I feel like can make me a better person, and I still focus and work on those things. Like I told you, you don't have to go balls to the wall all day, every day. Just pick something and do, you know, work on it consistently, because that's better than just taking one day and going through it, and then for the next six to 10 days you don't do anything at all. Okay. All right. See, this person keep popping up. This twin keeps popping up. They keep trying to make themselves known. I got a pile here of the damn cards with this person. That's why I switched to a different deck. Okay. So this is how your twin, I mean, not your twin, I'm sorry, your soulmate is showing up. Okay. As the divine masculine energy, they're showing up to meet you where they should. Because remember, with the twin, this is what was going on. You was trying to show up like this, and they were showing up like this. So what we gonna do with this? This ain't even a damn match. It ain't even energetically. It's not even right. Okay. All right. So like I said, this person, that's the thing about it too. They take this connection and you seriously. That's what I feel like it's been too, is that these people, it's like what I was telling you with my dad. It was like these people that you've dealt with in the past, I don't care if it was romantic or not. They took you for granted and assumed that they could just do whatever, and no matter what they did, you was just gonna stay there and fucking take it. Okay. And a lot of it is the energy that we bring. We come in that energy and we don't even realize that that's what we're doing until it gets to the point where it's so bad that we're forced to look at it. That's why the twin showed their asses like they did. That's why you got hurt like you did, because Spirit was trying to give you a shake and say, Cancer, wake up. Look at what is happening in your life. Look at what you're allowing people to do in the name of love. Okay? Because we all want to be in a relationship where someone, comes into our lives and is just going to lay all the cards on the table and treat us right. And we can just be open and be who we want to be, and be safe, and we create a safe space for them, and vice versa. We all want that. And I get it, because I'm like that too. But you can't fall asleep at the wheel. You also have to realize, again, as I said earlier, it is human nature for people to see how far they can push you. Okay. And so that is why Spirit keeps beating that dead horse about the damn set them boundaries. Make sure you let anybody coming into your life, even the soulmate, especially the soulmate, let them know this is as far as I feel comfortable with you allowing you to go in certain situations. You got to do that. And they need to do the same thing as well. Because I feel like both of you had the same problem, is that you love so hard, and you love so long until you feel like you trust the people to the point to where you feel like you don't have to set boundaries. You felt like in the past that you didn't have to set boundaries. Because I feel like a lot of people kind of vilify. Okay, they vilify boundaries and try to say it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. It's the way you do it. It's the way you do it. You can set boundaries with love. You can be like, hey, I didn't explain this to you before. But, when somebody does XYZ, it makes me feel like ABC. Okay. And so I have to, explain this to you because you didn't know it before. So now I'm letting you know now, if XYZ continues to happen, I'm going to have to, what is it? What was it, ABC? DEF? I'm going to have to DEF. And if it could, you have to just let them know, okay, this is unacceptable to me, or this is something that makes me feel comfortable, so on and so forth. And somebody that truly loves you and is not trying to get over on you, they will understand, Cancer. But if they walk away, that's what you see. This is the thing. You cannot be afraid to let people walk away. Because like I said, that was the hardest thing. Do you understand? It was the hardest thing in the world for me to have to turn my back on my father. It was like one of the hardest things in the world, because the people, like I said, I don't love every fucking body, but the people that I really do love, I like fucking love them. And so, and I honestly feel like my dad loves me too. But like I told you, I don't know what it is. It's just a thing. If you put yourself in that position where it's okay, you send the message some kind of way. It could be even subconsciously you send it. because of the things you've been through. That, okay, because you love me, I'm just going to give you all of me and just let you do whatever. If you send that message any way, shape, or form, and like I said, I'm not saying you doing it consciously, because I don't feel like I was doing it consciously, you know? But I feel like the thought process I had back in the day, it wasn't healthy, you know? It wasn't healthy, because you can't just give yourself, because I remember that I have a friend, and years ago we was talking, this was like during COVID. And I remember her telling me, we was talking about like the past and relationships and stuff like that. And she was saying, I will never give all of myself to somebody just because they love me. And I remember when she said that, I was kind of like, that sounds a little harsh. But now, sitting in the energy that I'm in, I feel like she's 100% right. You have to save something for yourself. Remember, I told you, I show you the Ace of Cups. I show you how the Ace of Cups is overflowing. All right. The way you keep that Ace of Cups overflowing is by giving to yourself first. You don't give everybody all of the water or the love or whatever that's flowing out of your cup. You don't give it all. And then you don't give it to them first. You give it to yourself first. Like they tell you on the plane, right? When the oxygen mask drop out, right? You're supposed to save yourself first, because if you pass out, how the fuck you gonna save somebody else? So this is about you putting yourself and loving yourself first, and guarding yourself, and your peace of mind comes before everybody, even your kids. Okay. And you can say what you want to in the comments, but I'm telling you, if you are not okay, you cannot be the loving, nurturing parent you want to be to your child. And then also you're showing your child how to be a fucking doormat when you don't put yourself first. Because you can put yourself first and put yourself first with love and still be there for your child the way you need to be. Okay? But this thing where, especially for women, where we're taught that we're supposed to give our shit to everybody except for our fucking selves. And when we want to give to ourselves, something's wrong with that. Fuck that all day long. Okay? That is wrong. And I will never sit here and tell you, I don't care what you say to me in the comments. You come first. Just like relationship. When you in a relationship, you married, or you in a committed relationship with your person, that relationship needs to come first, because you are teaching your kids what they're supposed to, what you want them to learn when it comes to relationships. So if you throw that relationship to the on the back burner, and it's like anything. If you let go of anything that you're trying to cultivate, or you're trying to, maintain, you're not going to be able to sustain it. It's not going to do what you want it to do. You have to still keep an eye on it. So I feel like Spirit is telling you, when it comes to your relationships, I'm not saying that you're supposed to be in a relationship with your person and be like, F the kids. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, it at least needs to be on the same level. You need to prioritize it just like you prioritize your children, because your children need to understand how to maintain a healthy relationship. And so by you, like how how you hear stuff, and you hear the sometimes the husbands say, we were so in love, we had this amazing relationship, and then we had our kids, and then it was like my wife forgot about me. It's like she didn't love me the same way she did anymore. Okay, so you got to realize the reason why you got them kids is because you had that relationship with your person, and it is just as important as the relationship that you have with your children. Okay, but the number one relationship, boo, is yourself. And I'm talking to the men too. The number one relationship is yourself, because if you don't pour into yourself, if you don't love on yourself, excuse me, if you don't treat yourself the way you want to be treated, you will not get that from other people. And you will show people that it is okay, that you will take whatever type of treatment they feel like they want to give you on that day. Remember, I told you, we're not the type of people where we can love you 5% today, and maybe tomorrow we'll give you 15, and the next day you might get 50. It's 100% or nothing, right? So in order for you to receive 100% back from the other people in your lives, you have to give it to yourself. You have to give it to yourself. You have to show your partner the same thing, and then you got to show it to your kids too. But it starts with you. Okay? And like I said, people, I'm like, I'm like, show me. Go listen to some of them people on YouTube. They got people on YouTube that's been married for years, and they will tell you that you have to prioritize your relationship with your person too. You can't just have kids and just be like, oh, my husband or my wife don't matter no more. It's all about these kids. And I'm like, mm-mm. Because everything has to have love. Look at plants. When you don't love the plant, and let me give you another example. The Spirit gave me these stories today. My grandmother, she used to have these plants. You know those plants, I don't know what you call them, the ones that run and they got the leaves. The leaves look like spades. Somebody's going in the comments going to tell me. Somebody that's a plant lover will probably tell me what it is. But the leaves look like spades. They big green leaves, and they when they grow, it's like a long, I don't know, vine or whatever, and these big leaves grow out of the sides of the vine, right? So I remember she used to have all this stuff set up like for the plants, right? And I remember how she used to talk about them. The plants would be all over the place. And she was like, yeah, I have this light. I give them light, and I give them this food, and I talk to them, and, do all these things. I tell them I love you and all this stuff. And the damn plants, I'm telling y'all, were all over the place. They just was running everywhere because my grandmother was loving them. Okay. She knew exactly what to do to make these plants to make these plants grow the way she wanted them to grow. So it's the same thing with anything. You got to nurture the things in your life that you want to grow, or you want to maintain, or you want it to be a certain way. But you can't just say, once you get into a relationship with somebody, oh, we've done everything we need to do. Now I got to focus on this. Now I got to focus on that. It's a balancing act. That's why you think Spirit talk about balance all the time. Because like I tell you, you can't put all your eggs in one basket. You got to put certain amount in each basket. All right. Everything has to get your love. Everything has to get, you have to figure it out. You have to figure it out. Like, for example, I always say, me and my person, when we come together, we're going to sit down and do damn schedules and schedule in time to be together. Because it's just like with anything else. Just like you schedule time to go to the damn gym, you want your body to look right. It's the same thing with your relationships. You have to look at it like that. And that may seem clinical or whatever, but life be lifing. And sometimes it gets in the way of what you're trying to do. And like I said, you don't want to start to let things get away. It's just like me with when I tell you about healing, it's something that I do before I do anything else. So I'm a meditator. I love on myself. That's what I call it. I love on myself. I talk to myself for like 20 minutes. I tell myself how much I love myself. These things are important because when I step out into the world, that's why people be telling me, oh my God, you're beautiful and you shine and you glowing. I see this, I see this, I see that. Yeah, I like because I tell myself, and it's starting to reflect in the 3D. So if you want your life to change, you have to start to change the way you do things, Cancer. Okay? All right. So the other card that fell, it says the Chaser, fear of abandonment, chasing, codependencies. These are things that have to be looked at. The codependency thing, like I said, when you start to love on yourself and you realize that you're going to have love no matter who is in your life, that will help you with the codependency thing. Okay? And with the fear of abandonment, you have to be okay with knowing that if anybody walks out of your life, it's going to hurt. And yeah, there's going to be an adjustment period, but you can get over it. Okay? All right. Okay, so now we're going to get some messages from Spirit. We're going to see what else Spirit wants to tell you about the reading. I just been talking today. I don't know what it is about here in Vegas. I told you, I say these reads be going long. I guess, I don't know if Spirit is like, you relaxed, so let's just talk. I don't know. But that's just what's been happening. So we got second chance. Spirit is saying this relationship deserves a second chance. I feel like Spirit is talking about your love life. Integrity. Does this situation align with your values and morals? These are the questions you need to ask yourself, okay? And then interference, an external party is intruding on this relationship, and we already know who it is, right? Here's the twin. The twin keeps trying to insert themselves in this connection because they know that you are moving away from them, okay? And then we've got friendship. It says this friendship is leading to more. So like I said, this person is going to come into your life. Like I said, it's going to be the greatest type of experience you've ever had when it comes to relationships. So that's why you got to be on your P's and Q's. That's what Spirit is saying. That is why it is so important for you to make sure you know who you are, you know what you deserve, you know what you want, so that it will translate into, in this connection. Okay. All right. So let's get some messages from your person. You know me, we not listening to whatever the hell the twin got to say. We don't care. Okay. We don't care. So we've got, I feel at home with you. We know that because it showed up here with the divine feminine card, not this one, the other one. Okay. This person is saying you feel like home to them. Okay. They're in love with you, as I always tell you. I never believed in soulmates, but then I met you. All right. Because like I told you, this person been through it just like you have. Okay. Now, let me go to my homemade cards. Let's get some, because I got a whole bunch of these. Let's see what this person wants to tell you. Okay. They're saying that you are their destiny. They just want the two of you to love to love each other. Because like I said, this person is wanting, they want you. I hear that. I want your love. I need your love. Whatever. It's an old song. It's old song. Spirit is taking me back with these songs today. My love for you is the best part of life. Okay. Reuniting with you is my number one goal. And I'm telling you, the reuniting, the reunion, past life connection. All right. And then as I told, I think it was Gemini, this could be somebody that you've known in this lifetime, but it doesn't have to be romantic. Okay. So this is not necessarily somebody who's, coming in and is going to, F you over, that F you over in the past. And now they're coming in to try again. It's not that. Like I said, it could be somebody. Oh, let me read you the comment, because, some of y'all getting upset, talking about the people from the past and this and that. And like I say, just because I say the past, it doesn't mean you were in a romantic connection with them. Okay, here we go. Okay, here we go. You are so right with the return. My person from the past was just a friend from high school, and we are doing really well, and he's presently my soulmate. I had to leave the toxicity behind, and my soulmate came right on in as soon as I changed my frequency and vibration. Your past could be anyone. So listen to the reader, guys. It doesn't have to be someone you were in a relationship with. Just like she said, have faith and know the divine has someone that is better. But make room for it by ridding yourself of all and anybody or anything that is not serving you for your highest good. That's what I'm saying. Spirit wants to know that you're going to put yourself first, and it's not about, it's not about everybody else but you, because that's been the status quo in the past, and look at how you ended up. Okay. All right. So look, new love. Spirit is saying a person has stirred your romantic feelings, a new person. And then it says attraction. You attract romantic love by enjoying this moment fully. So don't be trying to control this. Don't be trying to force it and make it go somewhere you don't want it. And don't be looking for the person. When it is time for this person to show up in your life, they will show up. Because Spirit told me about a new person for a long time before I was shown the person. It was just like one day they just popped up. And I was like, who is this? Why is this person? When I saw him, I was like, who is this person or whatever? And so that's when Spirit was telling me who it was, when it was time for me to know. Okay. All right. Cancer, I hope this helped. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. If you'd like to book a personal reading, there's a link in the description box below. Please have a good day and a good rest of your week, and I will talk to you soon. Bye, Cancer.